Hey there, another update on GMMaker. I decided to go ahead and implement some physics with kind of the map, the game map. So I got a warp over here on the right hand side. It's got this pulse animation effect going. I've got these boxes that fell, and if you pay quick attention, they're in a specific order, and they're actually in that same order or arrangement every time I refresh. That order directly corresponds to this new, so I have this new map layout of at least 4 files for now, 3 being specifically for this map, and then like kind of a global legend, if you will, for physics. So I'll show you what I mean. So first I'll jump into the map physics. This is the new thing I added. So I'll go originally to the map tiles, which we saw in the last video, where Q, W, E, A, S, D, Z, X, and C, these all map to the actual tiles on the tile sheet specified in the meta. So QWE, that's actually going to be these top 3 tiles, as I mentioned in the previous video, and that is in the map meta. So here's the tile sheet for under tiles. Here's the legend QWE. These coordinates map to this tile sheet and the locations. So very similarly to what you see here, if you just switch back and forth like this, so if I go like this, you can see they directly are kind of like a one-to-one overlay. So here's the visual, here's the physics. Visual, physics, visual, physics. The physics differentiates in that I don't need to fill necessarily all of the same spaces with physical blocks or like event-based blocks. And what I mean by that is, here's this G, that stands for ground. I have these kind of described, but I have this legend in this global physics.meta JSON file. G maps to ground, B maps to block, P maps to platform, and W maps to warp. Obviously, we're going to expand these to have more stuff, but this is kind of like the base. And yeah, when you jump here, you see all these G's for ground. Here's that W for the warp. You can see the warp right here. It's sitting right there. It's 1-to-1. If you pay close attention, let me move this over. So here's that W. That's right here. See these 4 grounds. They're right here in the corner. And then this L of grounds right here. That's actually just outlining this guy right here. So there's no need to fill in the middle stuff. And these boxes, they actually start up here, and they are placed in this exact arrangement. If you pay attention to this pattern, and I hit refresh on this guy, let me move him a little bit more. Let me move him even a little bit more. All right, there we go. I'll refresh. So they always start off in this same arrangement on the right hand side. So the game represents what the JSON looks like. And it's really easy to tab back and forth between these little JSON files, especially map-based ones. So here's the tiles, here's the physics. And like I said before, back and forth. You can just quickly see what's going on visually and then what's going on physically. So yeah, that's kind of all the work I've done so far on this guy. Yeah, so the ground, for example, and the warp, they are fixed physics, and I do all of that creation right here. So this create physical boxes. I have this the box creation right here for ground, platform, warp, and block. These guys are obviously like blocks, even though the visual is a box. And the difference being that blocks, as you saw, they fell like that. They are not fixed true. That actually is omitted, and by default, fixed is false. If I go into here, where is this? Here we go. Fixed is false by default. So yeah, and the kind carries over, being yeah. So this is kind of everything in a nutshell, and this is what I've got going on. I think next I'm either going to add forces to things to start manipulating and overlaying new input or new forces on things. So that way we can start creating AI through like a time step by frame by frame, which the behavior of the AI of like, oh, push, have a force deliver for going left for, like, let's say this box right here. Oh, now have the force going to the right. That will all be kind of randomly determined through like kind of pseudo random number generation based on seeds. So that way with a seeded game world or the game map of the physics engine, as that is seeded, so can all of the individual free components be seeded. So it'll seem random and it won't be predictable, but they will all be like clockwork, literally acting like clockwork. But that's a whole other topic for future videos once that gets implemented. But yeah, for now, this is what we've got cooking. So thanks for watching.